Hello. I told you I was going to make another video before the day was up. I might make one too later on. I don't know when. Maybe I'll be down in Times Square. I'm here making a video. I just want to talk. I know I said I was only going to talk about women's MMA, but I love boxing as well. I love men's boxing. I love women's boxing. But I have to talk about men's boxing because in about next Saturday, a fight in men's boxing is going to happen. But sadly, I'm going to miss it because I'm most likely going to be seeing UFC 214 if all three of the main fights actually happen. At least all three of the championship fights are happening. Which is Chris Cyborg versus Tanya Effinger, Tyrone Woodley versus Damian Maia, and John Jones versus Daniel Cormier. Those are the three championship fights that I want to see, that I've been wanting to see, and it's happening on one fight card. Plus you got Robbie Lawler fighting Donald Cerrone, which is just so great on paper. It just sounds great. I mean, that's a fight that's twice scheduled and twice got postponed. Now it's going to happen 214. But anyways, there's a boxing match happening that night that I most likely am going to miss because I'll be busy watching these fights. And this is next Saturday. This is the boxing match that people have been looking forward to for the last 3 months, or when it was announced. It's a boxing match between Adrian Broner and Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey Garcia is a heavy favorite, but I think a focused Adrian Broner is going to give him a tough fight. Broner's a bigger man. He is an accurate counterpuncher. He does have accuracy. He has some talent, although not a lot. His stance is too wide. His shoulder roll defense is not that good. It's kind of laughable at times. And he's not active enough. And that's a problem for him at welterweight, at 147. Now, 140, it might be a different story. But we have to see how Mikey Garcia's power holds up in the higher weight classes. And Mikey Garcia is a Mexican-American fighter. He's a very talented fighter. You know, and people say that, oh, Mikey Garcia is tailor-made for Broner. How? Are you saying Mikey Garcia is a one-dimensional Mexican brawler with no defense who just throws a lot of punches and uses his face or his head as a defensive shield of some kind? No, that's not Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a counterpuncher. In my opinion, he's one of the old-school, old-fashioned Mexican counterpunchers. He emulates Juan Manuel Marquez from the 90s. And Juan Manuel Marquez used to get a lot of knockouts in the foreign back in the 90s. And he was getting knockouts in the 2000s. But Juan Manuel Marquez is a counterpuncher. Which is why, that's probably why he was the underdog against Floyd Mayweather, because we knew that Floyd Mayweather would be the greater counterpuncher, and it's going to be tough for you to counter the counterpuncher. It's almost impossible to do that. So we figured that, Floyd Mayweather could dominate him. But Juan Manuel Marquez is still a great counterpuncher, which he showed against Pacquiao. The first 3 fights were very close, but I thought Marquez won the second and third fight. The first fight he probably won too. I could give Marquez 8 rounds. And the fourth fight, well, Marquez knocked out Pacquiao with a perfect counter right hand. And people want to say, oh, well, Marquez was on steroids and all this other stuff. But look, he never tested positive. So that's all circumstantial. That's just hearsay. That's just accusations. We can make the visual test on Pacquiao. We can make the visual test on Marquez. But at the end of the day, neither one of them have ever tested positive. So all that is that's just whatever. That's just fans wanting to complain and make excuses for Pacquiao, which his fans seem to make tons of excuses for. But Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. And that's really Mikey Garcia. He really is that type of counterpuncher. He finds an opportunity to counter. He exploits your weakness, exploits your mistakes, and then he knocks your ass out. He came back after a 2-year layoff because he was dealing with promotional issues with Top Rank. Mikey Garcia left Top Rank, joined Al Haymon, which was the smartest move that he could make. And now he's making all the money in the world. He came back last summer, 2016, following the undercard to the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton fight. And Mikey Garcia knocked out. He won by knockout in the 5th round. I actually forgot who he knocked out. I don't even remember the guy's name, but Mikey Garcia knocked him out. And then the second fight, he came back and he won by knockout again. The 3rd round, this time he became the WBC champion. So Mikey Garcia is back. And he's a champion in 3 different weight classes. He's a champion at featherweight 126, which is featherweight. champion at 130, super featherweight, and champion at lightweight, which is 135. So Mikey Garcia, he's back. And he's certainly proven himself to be a quality fighter. So people say, oh, he's tailor-made for Broner. Like, you're expecting this guy just to come forward, throw punches, and not have any defense? That's not Mikey Garcia. So I have Mikey Garcia winning by TKO or decision against Adrian Broner. I think Broner put up a tough fight, but at a 12-round fight, if Broner makes weight at 140, even if he's focused, I think Mikey Garcia is just too smart, too intelligent for Adrian Broner, and he'll probably knock him out. And sadly, I'm most likely going to miss it because I have to see UFC 214, John Jones, Daniel Cormier. But who knows? I don't know. I have to see what happens during fight week with UFC 214, which is next week, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully Broner actually shows up focused against Mikey Garcia, and maybe Mikey Garcia will win. But we'll see. It's going to be an exciting fight. And the lightweight division is getting packed right now because you got Jorge Linares, you got Mikey Garcia, you got Robert Easter Jr., who might move up to 140 or stay at 135. You got some good quality fighters at lightweight right now. And you got Vasily Lomachenko, who can move up to 135. Orlando Salido might move up to 135 to chase after Lomachenko if he wants to. 130 pounds is a really exciting division. Nicholas Walters could move up to 135. There's a lot of potential for the lightweight division to get back to where it was, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's going to be a great division, and there's a lot to look forward to. All right, well, that's done. That's all. I'm done with my thoughts on Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, my fight prediction. Yeah, I predict Mikey Garcia to win by TKO or decision of some kind. And they're both Al Haymon fighters, so there's no excuses on who gets a gift decision or not. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But all right, this is Brian J. I usually talk about women's MMA, but right now I just wanted to talk about boxing. I'll occasionally talk about men's boxing while talking about, women's MMA. So yeah, I just wanted to give my prediction on the Mikey Garcia versus Adrian Broner fight. All right, I'll talk to you. I'll make another video later, maybe, and talk to you guys later. All right, bye. This is Brian J. signing off.